Okay, it's over. You don't have to yell at me, bro.
Dude.
You don't have to yell at me. I know you don't like the song. I still like the song, and you don't got to yell at me for playing the song.
I just wanted to make sure because you act like Stranger Things just got popular again, and
I don't care about Stranger Things. I don't care about that song. I like their version of it. It's an excellent song.
I checked out that punk rock band. I forgot what their name is, but it has that in the title or something. And yeah, they have some good covers, but this song specifically, it's dead. It's like the Mortal Kombat 1.
It's not dead. It's not dead to me.
It's like
not dead to me.
Mortal Kombat 1. Kill it off. It's done.
It gets me hype. It gets me hype, and the fact that you're getting upset at me because I have love for a song.
Turn that bass down.
Enough for you, Mad Dads. What's up, bro? I'm sorry, but this guy, he's getting me heated, man.
All love here.
I mean, it's just normal stuff. Y'all fight all the time, so I'm just here chilling, saying what's up to the people. What's up? And
sir, you know you're lying because my son gave me a cup that says I'm number one dad. So how can you be number one dad?
Get up. Sorry, bro. Number one dad up in here, bro.
That's some bull. I'm gonna tell my son that he's lying.
I don't disrespect that ass. So that, you know what I mean?
See, see, Retro Ralph has my back. He said the song is fire, bro.
All right, everyone's saying the old song is starting to get played. All right. Maybe the song's just old to me already. I'm done. There's a reason why people stopped playing it and it came back. It's because it sucked. It died and people forgot about it. This one needs to die too. But anyways.
It doesn't need to die. You need to learn. You need to roll with the punches and just accept life that I'm right and you're wrong.
I mean, yeah, I understand it's a cover. Like, I know it's a punk rock band that does the cover of that old song. I heard the original. It's a chick. I don't know.
Kate Bush.
Yeah. Everyone knows her name now. They're acting like they knew. They didn't know.
I knew that song a long time ago.
But anyways, the song's done. Big Reese over here, man. He became a member, dude. I love Big Reese, man.
Love you, Reese.
About the Sonic. He was right about Double Dragon. Big Reese
First of all, he has one of the smallest subscriber count, but he comes out with the most freaking knowledge out of everybody. Everybody needs to sub to that man channel.
Yes, right now, sub to him. You know what? I've teased him in the past and kind of laughed that he joked with me. He's a cool dude. I love his content now. I'm like a listener. It's one of those people you're like, wait.
No,
he said it. He's got the credibility.
This is what happens. What you need to do is like this is what I guarantee you. All the big YouTubers like everybody, me, OTG, and the other ones that I won't give them credit because they don't say my name. They all subscribe to this man's channel and they break his news like he didn't report it first.
Yeah. One thing I want to address Ralph real quick. He's like asking like, is there such thing as a played out song? Remember single tapes would get, would play those over and over 10 remixes of the same song. I believe so. A song like this with popularity can play a song out. Now there's a band like I listen to every day for 10 years, like Against Me or maybe longer. Like I love that band. I literally listen to them almost every day. And they don't get boring, but this is one of those hit songs that's like Ricky Martin, dude. No one's doing the Ricky Martin Magdalena anymore unless they're like older ladies in a club just having fun in Mexico. That's it. Like, dude, there's certain songs that are dead, kill them, boom, and this is one. But anyways, that's just my opinion. I'm just so
listen. I got this guy in the green room for a minute. Let me tell you, we got a special guest. This man is a 3D artist. A game developer. He's been doing this for 17 years. He does it because of the passion that he has for the community, and he wants to show us what he believes would be the proper homage to these cabinets. And I've spoken to him. He's very passionate about what he does, and we always feel like, man, this guy doesn't get the love that he deserves. So we wanted to bring him on here, have a conversation with him, and hopefully we see some changes in the future because Arcade1up has listened to the community in the past, telling us that we don't want to have any risers, that we want bigger screens, that we deserve a wider deck. And so some of those things have come into place, but there's still more work to be done. So without further ado, let's bring on my man, Anthony.
I got to say, I'm fanboying.
Anthony, what's up, man?
What's up?
And what is going on, brother? I appreciate you joining the stream here with us on this show. We have a special edition for you. This is no holds bars. Say what you want. This is a safe zone, and we want to highlight some of the work that you've done and the videos that you've put out here. I can attest, speaking to all of us here, that we appreciate the work that you've done. We looked like, damn, imagine if Arcade1up did this and did that. So we want to talk to you first off about your process. What made you say, you know what? Let me do this. Let me show them how it would look if they did it properly.
Well, first, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And so I got into this by starting modding. My Killer Instinct mod, the first thing I did when I wanted to start and mod that control deck back there was put it in 3D to work out all the design issues in it before I started building anything. And then once I started having things in 3D, I started going into, I follow a lot of people's streams. I listen to a lot of the YouTubers, and they're like, well, what if they gave us this? What if they gave us that? And I'm like, but there's no visual aids for it, right? Like some people have to Photoshop some things together. So then I was like, well, it's not too much work for me to start going into 3D and mocking this stuff very loosely. So some of my earlier videos, they're just still images, not 3D full. I mean, they're 3D, but they're not animated with cameras moving around and really complicated lighting. And that's where I started. And now I've kind of moved into, when I saw there was interest and people were really interested in seeing this stuff, and I was also trying to give, constructive criticism to Arcade1up, started getting to more full 3D renders with different camera angles and shots and things like that. So that's kind of where it started, was a way to do that. Also, I am still working on mods and builds, and some of these Pro or XL mock-ups I've done, I haven't had videos released for them. I'm actually building some of these cabinets, and those videos will be coming out. So I will be building cabinets.
Don't get this man excited next to me. This guy, right? He has a hard on for KI. So when he saw that you were doing that control deck, he sent me pictures like, oh, did you see this? And I thought he was like, the way he was talking, I thought he was, talking to a chick, sending nudes and stuff. I'm like, bro, relax, man.
Yeah, because to me, the biggest worry was we got to see a quick glimpse of KI, and people were like, that's in a legacy. And then it ended up being like a legacy that was modified to look like a midway on top, but they just added height at the bottom. And that control panel, to me, like, I don't like the recess of my experience with the legacy. So it really bothered me. Even though they raised it up, it wasn't enough. It still hit. So I put little popsicle sticks to make it a little higher, and it still bothers me. So when I saw you actually give it more room, because that's always been my criticism for fighting games, is that we don't have enough room. Either our palms hit the screws, or we hit the edges, or if it's flat, it just never feels right.
Rest your palm.
Yeah. And when I saw what you did, I was like, dude, this guy fixed the problems. He made it look a lot more like what we saw in the arcades. And this is before the Mortal Kombat 30th. This is way before. And it was amazing seeing that you crafted this. So yeah, I showed UAG, I was showing everyone, and it's amazing. And the thing is, the work is clean.
Yeah, it looks great, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I made a 6-part video on that, because I also want to inspire people who are modders to show how I did it. And then people who are kind of want to get into it and not exactly know where to start, like what does it take, kind of document the process. So like, how do you cut your side panels without destroying the artwork? And there's a whole video on, I had to cut and modify the side panel to make room for that new deck. So it's not a bolt on. I actually had to cut the side panels and notch it out and do a lot of work. And there's a full video going over how to go through the process, and when I'm done, that artwork is laser sharp, man. There's no chewed up artwork, no rough edges. It's clean.
Yeah, so when I saw one of the steps was getting the control panels and actually modifying them, I was like, oh man, like you went on to detail, even showed how to like take off the edge banding and put it back on. I learned a lot watching that, and I was like, I kind of want to do it, but I know I'm gonna mess it up. But
that's what I want. I want you to get excited, and I want people to not be scared of it. And if they're thinking about it, go for it. I want to encourage that. That's really what I want to do with the channel too, with the mods, is encourage people to mod and build, man. It's a great hobby. It's really fun, and that pride you feel when you finish building something with your own hands. So I really encourage that, and that's what
Anthony, I got a question for you because speaking to some modders like Mad Dads and other people like Bobby Vu and whatnot, they usually tell me that they have more fun recreating exactly what they want in terms of the mods and making it done with the project than than actually playing the game. That whole process, is that similar to you?
Yeah, man, it's about the journey. There's a lot of fun and a lot of passion, planning and building and doing it. And then, yeah, I play the cabinet, I definitely end up playing in a lot more Battletoads with my son than KI, because, KI is, it's not, easy to get into. You gotta be pretty skilled there. Now, my hope is if there was some group of people, like some elite programming group that like made mods to these where you can load other games on, if this group of people existed somewhere, this some kind of maybe encoder team,
yeah,
that would be so cool. If and I swear somebody made a video leaking some kind of KI. I don't know. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I waited. Yeah, what's up with that encoder team? I haven't heard anything about the KI since that one person kind of.
You leave my friends alone. They're working hard. They're working hard and diligent.
You got to slip it in.
They're working hard, but hardly working on the KI.
Nah, it's on their free time, but they got other stuff, and I know they get bored of certain things and move to others. Or maybe they might be waiting. Maybe they might be waiting to see if there's another version, make sure everything works together. Who knows what they're waiting on. But I think there's a reason why they're waiting. But
I have to ask you a question, Anthony. I'm sure you've seen the pictures in the leaks, most recently, from Toy Room, showing the KI and it in all its glory without a screen on. I wonder why. But I don't think anything is just accidentally passed by. I definitely wanted. I think that Arcade1up wanted to put it out there like, hey, this is real and it's coming soon. And I have it on the, good authority that, some of the reasons that they waited, because it could have been done. I mean, it's wood. The wood is the wood. I don't think there's a lack of MDF. The only thing that they really needed was to make sure that they source a screen that is pro level. Because if they would give us that Mortal Kombat or the Golden Tee screen in a pro cabinet, I'm sure we would pick it and riot, and the villagers would come through.
I mean, if you're going to ask a G for a cabinet, right? John has already said this, and it makes sense to me that, the cabinet design's got to be on point. The controls got to be on point. The light up functional buttons on the coin door, good screen, beautiful marquee, Yamaha speakers, whatever they're going to do. And honestly, probably not self-amplified or PCB amplified speakers. Everything's got to be a point. When you're asking $1,000, I'd rather have them wait and make sure they really deliver a premium cabinet, because if they don't, I don't think that's going to be a good situation. Everybody's going to jump on it and could be rough. So I'd rather them wait. It makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. Especially with this being its first, venture out in the pro line, right? So they have to hit it out the park to make sure that this is something that they continue on. Right. So I do believe that they're going to do some things. But one of the things that I noticed about your design, and let me pull that up here again, because I want to point something out here, is that you eliminated all that freaking chrome crap. I want to know why they think that chrome means value, like expensive, because it looks tacky to me.
I mean, I said this in the video. Maybe it was meant to make it feel more premium, but it actually has. Here's the thing: real chrome that is metal, that's plated, and is real chrome is chrome. plastic with plastic chrome is plastic chrome. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make it feel premium. It feels a little distracting. And for me, I think we've already, other people have said this as well. When you were talking about, I think John D said this himself as well. The Pro cabinet at that price point, you're probably going for the hardcore, player, somebody who's serious about the game, really loves the game. And it's about nostalgia, right? And try to get the cabinet as close to the original as you can. I mean, that's what my goal is with it. Is it's a piece of history, and I look at these like a restoration project. That like how you restore it to its, as close as it could be when it was original. And the control deck is a big part of that. I'll get started on the art in a minute. So
yeah, I love the way you show your designs like in that lighting, and you go for like a really clean look that's like what we're talking backstage. You're saying it's all about preserving like history and like our passion for this to kind of get it looking close. It's just everything I see, it looks really good. Like your design is so clean.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I look at the original and I try to work within the constraints that I think Arcade1up has. So like when I got my Terminator 2, I didn't take it out of the box right away. I'm going to tape measure, looking at it. Because the thing is, you got to think about it, right? You're like, oh, the box is, 48 by 24. Well, it's not really 48 by 24. It's a little less than that. Then the thickness of the cardboard of the box. Then the thickness of the foam of the packing material, because if you don't pack it right, it's not going to be, it could be the best side panel, but if it makes it to you smashed up and they're losing 50% of the product, so they have a lot of loss just from the cardboard thickness and the packing material to get into their maximum length and their maximum depth of their side panel. So like when I worked on that Killer Instinct, it was really heavily based off the T2 cabinet, really looking at how that cabinet was assembled and what I thought, the largest panels could be based on that. So I try to really work within what I think their constraints are, and then obviously look at the real cabinet and make sure that you try to get as close to that as possible. And like I said, it's preserving history. That's the way I look at it. There's love and passion to every detail, the artwork, the shape, and then look at it aesthetically. You are making the cabinet leaner. So you got to start really massaging some of those proportions to balance the cabinet out as well.
Can you do me a favor, OTG? Bring up the Smash TV one, because he shows in detail that he pulls up the original artwork and kind of conforms it to the restrictions that Arcade1up and the attention to detail that you go through, like the fact that you are going through the boxes, checking the thickness of the box to what that means could fit in the box and everything like that. That level of commitment is next level, to be quite honest with you. And again, people don't
we appreciate
seem to understand the level of detail. Like when I asked you about coming on here and doing a new cabinet, it was like, well, it's going to take a while. And because you're doing things, like you're going into so much detail that, again, it's we in the community appreciate you. And I'm sure that the feedback that you're getting is getting to Arcade1up, because they read all the comments, and I've seen John D actually comment on this. Actually, I think it was this video here.
Yeah. He said he liked the renders.
So, right there. Now, see, like you actually looked up this artwork on what it is on in art, and quite recently, Retro Ralph did this one, so I could speak to them like, yeah, that's exactly the artwork that he used. He was very concerned of how the control deck looks, and he said when he saw this, he's like, dang, like for him to get this control deck the way it looks with the limited space that they have, and it almost look almost a 1-to-1, is he gave much kudos to you, and I give that as well. Like,
would you say Retro who?
Retro Ralph.
I'm joking. Okay.
Don't disrespect the Ralph man.
Honestly, once again, people who got me and inspired me, Retro Ralph was one of some of the videos, and you know, I made a comment. He jokes about it, but like that Ninja Turtle mod, he's putting 10-inch subwoofers in cabinets and doing all that stuff. Those are videos I watched that got me very excited and very interested in this stuff.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been an influencer.
Hey guys.
Oh man,
my son loves watching Ralph with me. We watch it together.
So
I take it your son watches him over Retro Rick, right? Hey, it'll make Ralph feel good. It'll make Ralph feel good. There's a story where he met somebody that thought he was Retro Rick at a convention or something. It's just a little backstory. But one thing,
we really appreciate you, man, doing this stuff.
yeah,
No, man,
it's not easy. It's not easy, man.
And
yeah.
no, I appreciate it. I'm glad.
I think it was in the Killer Instinct video. Maybe it was that one that you mentioned that like you were real precise. Like you actually cut out like all the, I guess like the blue parts on the controllers and all that, and redid everything. All the artwork, made it.
I did it for my mod. That's why I had it. Killer Instinct was easier for me because once I had the MK model, I had all the artwork already split apart, which is a giant pain in the ass for my mod. So I had all that. And the thing is, when I was looking around for vendors to do my artwork, nobody had it really split. Everybody skimps out. No offense to anybody. Nobody had the real back base plate reconstructed. And it took me, there's a lot of nights working on that thing. I wanted it to be 100% correct. I had to strip away all the artwork and rebuild that back plate so that it's free to move everything around. So, yeah.
So Anthony, I want to talk to you about let's put this out here. You're a big fan of Arcade1up. So what you're gonna say is not being, you're not being critical. You're just saying these are things that can improve the experience for us as the consumer.
It's just constructive feedback. It's just feedback. I'm not bashing on the product. I am a fan, and I love their products. And
so we're going to get into nitty gritty right now. So, for example, you look at the KI Pro from the renders that you've seen, right, and from Toy Room's video, from what you could see. What are the things that you said, you know what, if I was in charge of getting this to look the way it is, what are some of the things that we could show the videos and it doesn't do it justice, but I want to know your thought process of like, well, I would do this and I would do that. Explain to us.
So first, obviously, everybody said it. It's been said by like almost every streamer, myself, and a lot of people. Everybody's gonna have different opinion. No chrome T molding. Like that's, I don't get it. I think even John D made a comment about they need to ditch the chrome T molding. So my main feedback to the design team is nostalgia sells. You're talking about $1,000 premium cabinet. Shiny plastic molding is not premium. I just don't know any nice way. That's the nicest way I can say it. Just keep it clean, keep it simple. So I would definitely get that chrome banding. Now, if you want to get into a pro, give us real T molding. Like if you want to do black real T molding, that would be a premium upgrade in my mind. I don't see if you guys feel the same about that real T molding.
Real T molding, big time. That edge banding, it just seems like it's like for IKEA furniture. Just the T molding was made to take hits, and that's what we remember. So, but even if they keep the edge banding, which they more likely will, just the black would have went a lot further just because it looks clean. But I want that premium feel. If I'm gonna pay a premium price, definitely the T molding is a must.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
I always went blue, probably for me, but that's just what I'll do.
Yeah, if they did the T molding, then you could do it yourself. You could just buy. Well, hopefully, I don't know how thick it's gonna be. If it's gonna be half or 3/4, I don't know. But you could buy the, So, it'll have to be half, right? Like definitely to be the same.
For the weight, I think it'd be cost and weight. 3/4, that cabinet's gonna get to like 150 pounds. 160.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the real shit, right? Like but like the thing is, I know a lot of people complain about this. I don't know if you wanted to wait to talk about it, but a lot of people complain like all right. I guess I'll get you to answer this. What small things could Arcade1up do that doesn't even cost so much, but gives it the pro cabinets, a more premium look?
Well, I I wouldn't even just limit it to Pro though. Like for me,
or anything, yeah, any cabinet.
I think across their whole product lines, I probably want to talk about screw holes. And what's wrong with their screw holes, and I don't think they should just be limited to Pros, is they should just own the screw holes and get into just fit and finish. And for me, that means is the issue with the screw holes right now for me is you have 1/2 inch wood, right? You're drilling a 1/4 inch into the wood, which weakens it. And then you're putting a screw that doesn't really fill that hole. So you end up with this big cavity of exposed MDF with a little Phillips head screw inside, and it becomes more distracting. And I think if they changed their cut file and didn't drill as deep into the wood, and they used a flat hex head bolt that when you screwed it in was flush with the surface, like you'll find on like higher end furniture or even IKEA, I think it's just going to feel more premium. And like I said, it's fit and finish. Those little details, it's just going to feel like more of a premium product if they, across all their products, just change how deep they drill into the side panels and change their screw. Because if they get caps, it's another thing they have to get. And then how do you match the color of ink to the color of a plastic? And then really, if you think about it, you're taking a plastic cap and shoving it in a hole. That's not premium, right? So I just feel like just own the screws and just give us a premium screw that when screwed in is nice and flush on some higher end furniture. I mean, that's across all their products. And I don't think that's something that would drastically affect, possibly would not drastically affect the cost of the products.
Yeah, I like that idea of yours. It's just like change the way the screw holes cut so it's not so deep.
We used to have an expensive piece of furniture in our house that had something like that. Remember the arcades that we used to have?
Those cam blocks, but that's different. This is with a hose system.
But I'm talking about the flushness. It gave it a premium feel to it.
It's just when you look and you see all that MDF, and then there's that just round generic, screw, Phillips head screw. It just feels very unfinished. It doesn't feel like it's put together. And I think as soon as you look and it's just a nice flat hex head out, because I started using flat hex heads in all my Pro renders. I don't have the big holes with wood exposed and all that. It's just almost like a flushed, nice hex head bolt. And I think that's something they can do that would just increase their product line, across all their products. It just would feel more premium and just give them a better fit and finish.
Everybody always think I'm asleep up in this mug. I'm sitting here chilling. I'm listening.
So you're
listening, man.
You're doing some of these suggestions are minuscule in terms of cost. At least these are my assumptions.
You know what's so funny? We used to joke around about the screws. Remember when Big Blue came out? The screws, they rust. And I have some like Golden Tee. My palm's not on those screws, and they're indoors, just AC. And they're ready, they're like changing color, like turning darker. And the quality of the screws that they've used is what makes it feel less premium. And if they invested in something as small as screws, people laughed at me. They're like, go to Home Depot. But no, I like your idea, like a flush premium screw that's not so in there. I think that would go so far and make it feel like a premium. Like what you're saying, UAG, the arcade felt like a premium because it didn't have those screws exposed. But if you're going to have them flat, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't try to cover them up. I just try to own them, and make them premium. I mean, we have a lot of products in our homes that are flat boxed because that's just the reality of shipping on multiple products. So I don't think people have issue with the screws as much. It's just reality. I just think it's the execution that could use some refinement.
Yeah.
I have to ask this question because I want to know if you feel the same way. I feel like some of the people over there in Arcade1up or ThinkUp, let's say it's ThinkUp, that does the designs and what I think they're colorblind.
Dude, all right.
Are they colorblind?
All right. The thing is, it's not their fault because those buttons they're like no arcade buttons. Those are clearly toy buttons. But it's okay. It keeps the price down. But they're not making the color.
Find a better color. I'm not talking about. We're not talking about the quality of the buttons. The quality of the buttons are the quality of the buttons. But at least get the proper color match.
Oh, you know what? They do have a darker blue because you know what? I noticed on Mortal Kombat, this one's like an orangey red, and then like my Street Fighter is a dark red, and the blues are different. So yeah, they technically could get a different blue. And you're right, but dude, look at what they did with the 30th. They put all those yellow buttons.
Okay, but at least those are the right colors. I'm just like, this color is totally off. It looks like, you know, when you buy something bootleg and you can tell because of the, like, there's certain things like that color is totally off. This is a colorblind person dealt with this shit.
Well, they look like they're glowing or something. I don't.
I'm just saying, you know, but you know what also happens, and I think this is what happens. I think this is what happens. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on here, right? I think there's times that they just go with what they found on Google. Like if you do a search, you'll find certain cabinets with this color, like this color look, and like, oh, see, that's the color.
But that's not an excuse, because there are so many channels that have people restoring these cabinets or you know, showing what the real cabinet looks like, and they know what these look like, that you could research on YouTube. And I do it myself for my builds. Like I'm sorry, I can't think of the channel right now. It's an older guy. He's has the restoration channel. He fixes a ton of
Todd Tucky?
Yes.
Yeah.
CNC TNT Amusement.
TNT, yeah.
TNT Amusement. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind right now. Dude, there's almost any cabinet on there. He shows the real cabinet, shows the restoration.
They deal with Todd Tucky. A lot of times when they want to recreate something, they get the actual cabinet. They've dealt with him and got the actual cabinet from him so they can recreate it. Like they did that with Star Wars, right? They got it. So, I mean, sometimes like there's certain ones like they hit out the park. Like you cannot tell me that Star Wars don't look legit,
yeah,
right?
It's a great cabinet. But also, I would imagine Lucas and Marvel are very overseeing every element of their IPs and their products. Like I'd imagine that went through numerous art, and that's the thing is they probably have art directors at Lucas or whoever's overseeing that has reviewed that cabinet artistically and made sure everything was on point. You know, it's like an art review before it was actually approved and shipped. That might be the difference with some of these other cabinets. So,
do you think that something like this could play in where there's not a lot of, you know, original cabinets? Like let's say KI, there may not be a lot of them in the wild to get. Like you saw how hard it was for you to get that artwork, right?
Well, that's a different story. I mean, trying to get the artwork yourself isn't easy, but there's people that out there have it. And actually, recently, someone who actually has, you know, does printing reached out to me and was like, look, I love your videos. I noticed the KI has, you know, certain little issues with it. I have original artwork, and he's been sending me some samples, and he has some beautiful stuff that is actually amazing quality. And he's like, look, if you need anything for your future videos, call me. So that's a huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's what I love about this.
That's pretty cool, man.
So
you can get people.
So oh wait, what'd you say, Matt?
No, I said that's pretty cool when you can get people to match you like that. Like Escape Pod online, they got some pretty good graphics for real cabinets. So I use them a lot. So
I think it was Repro Arcade. He's a guy in the UK.
Hey, tell him to reach out to me. I sent up a request Monday and I haven't heard from him. I'm trying to.
You know, good people, man. There's good people in this community. Reached out and the artwork I don't understand. Bottom line is, you can go on YouTube and there's passionate people in this community who have restored Killer Instinct, brought the cabinet back to perfection. That information's out there. I mean, you can research it.
You know what I loved about what you did about this? So you created it and you didn't, you know, put the Nintendo sign. You're like, I'm going to do it the way they want to do it, but I'm just going to do it right.
I understand the limitations they're dealing with, you know, and let me take a step back on Arcade1up just for a second, guys. I'm only dealing with a fraction of the crap they have to deal with. So right now I'm doing a 3D render. I make it look pretty and I try to make it in the limitations I think they have. They still have to deal with manufacturing, distribution, and when they're cutting that wood, who knows if they have to put countercades on the same sheet of MDF with that cabinet and make sure they're maximizing the sheets of MDF for, like, you know, how they're mass producing these. So there's a ton of other logistical problems they're probably dealing with when they're designing a cabinet as well, that moving something by an inch may have a big domino effect as well. So I never use the word just do this arcade and just do that, because sometimes a little thing, just like it is with my job, one little thing can actually have a very big ripple. So I always want to step back too, and there may be reasons for this, but I do try to work, like you said, work within, I know, the legal constraints and either manufacturing constraints that they have. So yes, I didn't put the Nintendo logo because it didn't exist on that cabinet for legal reasons. But
yeah.
Oh, no. I'll let you finish. I'll go afterwards. I'll just mess with.
But I don't get why there's two different Killer Instinct logos on the cabinet. And I brought it up in my video. You have the right one on the marquee, and then there's this made up, chromey looking, bubbly, no offense, Killer Instinct that's not the real logo, and they put it on the front, they put it on the side. Why do we have two different Killer? Obviously, you have the rights to use it on the marquee. I mean, do you pay for it every time you use it? Maybe these are details we're just unaware of. I really can't imagine why it's not, the correct logo. That's all.
If somebody was just like, hey, I think it'd look cool up in that area. It was like, hey, I think it'd look cool if you had two different logos on it.
One thing you mentioned earlier, what I kind of liked is you mentioned something about like the art directors are maybe approving or whatever at whoever were you using about the Star Wars one. The Mortal Kombat, I don't know whose video I was watching. It was either Justin's video or it was who was Michael B? Somebody mentioned, which I never noticed, but maybe it was Michael B's review.
It was not. Yeah, it was Michael B's review.
Michael B's review that a piece of Johnny Cage is still in the dragon. And I was all like, I covered mine up from the same guy that Repro Graphics. He's the one that had the Johnny Cages. So I covered mine up. I didn't get a chance to look at it. But it's true that there's a piece of Johnny Cage there. I was like, did they get any approval? Did somebody go over that? Like,
it's a great question. Do they have an artist that is reviewing this in detail before it goes to print? Because it doesn't cost them, and they have to print it anyways, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure it's on point. I mean, there are other problems just besides that. Just the way the dragon flows. There's points where like two curves meet, and there's a pinch point in the middle of the spine. There's a point where it looks like somebody just like Photoshop clone stamped a section.
Yeah.
Those are little things that I think just should not be there. It doesn't cost you more money. You're already printing the artwork. So once again, without visibility on their design process, their approval processes, their even focus testing, who knows what that process looks like to be able to catch those things.
But you know what? So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I think that you have a keen eye for this kind of stuff, because I'm looking at it. I think that this is the best looking cabinet I've ever seen. And then you're like, and this, and then I'm like, damn, I didn't catch none of this. Yeah, but I'm not an artist, so therefore, I'm saying maybe they have someone overseeing this who's working the line, right, and is not at that level. They need to invest in that. They really do, because hey, if you're gonna print it, you might as well stop. If you can minimize any kind of, issues before it goes to print. That's what you should do, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to. Of course, it may come down to ROI, right, which is return on investment. It may not be worth the extra, hourly rate or whatever it is for these contractors or however they do their artwork. I don't know if it's internal people, external people. I don't understand the structure. It may not be worth the money. Like, it's good enough for people. Who knows really what goes on? But to your point that you said you're not an artist, right? When you look at my KI cab and you look at their KI cab, now maybe you won't artistically point out the differences, but perceptually you're going to gravitate to one, right? Because you do see them. You may not be able to articulate every little thing, but in your mind, you're naturally just like, why does that one look better? And it's all the little things that start to add up, right?
Well, I mean, the double logo is perfect example. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that's why an artist wouldn't have done that. So why are you doing that? It's one of the things that I really frowned upon on the Legends pinball, where they had 18 different logos on it. Like, we know that you made this machine. We don't need to have a logo. One of the things that, Anthony, I love the new form factor that they have on the 30th, the new Legacy line. But one of the things that I literally cringe on is that Yoga Flame having that little Arcade1up logo on the lip of the control panel. Like, why? I understand that you need to do some branding, but I think that takes away from that cabinet.
Yeah, or the new one, the what was it, the Shinku Hadouken has the Arcade1up logo right on the front right there.
That was beautiful. They nailed that until I saw that little piece on the damn control panel.
I wish they would just put it consistently on like the top right or middle corner of the bezel and just keep it there on all the cabinets. Nice and clean. It's under plexi. It's nice and shiny. Looks crisp. Looks nice. It's front and center for brand recognition. To your point, when they start moving it everywhere, yeah, sometimes it's maybe not the best placement. I don't know. One thing I want to mention about my renders, because I never wanted people to confuse them with actual real marketing. I don't put any Arcade1up branding on it at all, out of just respect for the company. Like, even if you look at the coin button and it says free play and all that, I could easily put Arcade1up branding all over that thing. It just says 1UP. It doesn't actually say Arcade1up. So I always leave the Arcade1up branding off of the cabinet, just out of respect for the company and stuff. Because I don't want people to think that's real, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought that a friend of the channel, Toy Cade, reached out to you like, listen, just put my logo underneath, you know, superimpose it, and it just I want that effect.
For fun, I was going to take Zohar's face and put it on Johnny Cage. And
I wanted that. I asked for that. I said, instead of Johnny Cage, could y'all put Zohar's face as that? I asked that for that long time ago. Dude, do it, please. Just do it for fun.
That's never going to happen.
Okay.
Can you do it for fun though? Just for fun, for Zohar.
No, because Console Fanboy on video was like, this guy should, you know, give back his cabinet, and he was talking about me. So I'm really hurt right now. I just want Console Fanboy to understand that when he's saying these things, there's a person on the other side of that cabinet. Okay?
Oh, you know, it's one thing from an artist, because like I've done art for a long time, but I'm not like you, you know. But one thing we just noticed, I think the normal person would notice how bad the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 control panel was, putting the concrete all around. If they were going to use that, you know, they needed to use that print for whatever reason, which no one wants it just on top, but all around the sides, it just didn't make sense. It didn't feel like the real cabinets had that box kind of look, because there was never artwork on the sides like that. I don't know.
Area of interest, you know, that's the thing, is this balance, you know, just that you have areas of calm where your eye can rest, and areas of detail, you know. And I think what happens with people with the Flame Edition, right, there's a lot of visual detail consistently, and sometimes some people like it and some people don't. There's just the amount of visual consistency of noise is higher, right? And it's the same note what you're making with the control deck, is that you have that very noisy pattern, and you just wrap the entire shape, you know, in that pattern. There's no area of calm, you know, and then allow the top of the deck to be a focal point. Yeah,
for sure. You said it perfectly, and that's what I felt with the Yoga Flame. It was too many people scattered. There wasn't little backgrounds around them that would contrast. Nothing. Everything was just like together, and it didn't have a flow to me. And then it made sense when I saw the second one. Oh, they took some people out, and I don't know. Just even with the MVC2, I like it. I like it better than the Street Fighter one, but it doesn't have a flow.
You know what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. They heard the voices of people saying, "Oh, that J panel is so naked. It's just black." They're like, "Oh, you want stuff? Boom, boom, boom." And you know, sometimes a little bit too much. Like less is more in that aspect, because they had the side art is even though that's, you know, not true to the cabinet, because they didn't have a cabinet. They try to recreate something. I love that side art, but then that just deters from it with that control panel, especially on the side. Like I think it would have been safer, like OTG said, just having the top be that and wrap it around in black. It would have. Would I still love it? No, but it would be more palatable.
Yeah,
it's awesome on there, blowing the fire, color today, man.
Well, that's another cabinet. We're talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Wake up!
Sorry.
Yeah. You could definitely easily fix it yourself.
I heard. I'm just saying. I thought you were talking about the other cabinet. My bad. Brother tired sometimes. My bad.
I get it. I'm tired too.
For real, man.
Yeah, you know what? I'm supposed to get the Shinku tomorrow. It was supposed to come in today, but it's delayed to tomorrow. And the only reason I wanted it because I bought some tools to cut wood. I've done like little stuff here and there.
There you go.
But I've never what you did. I wanted to try it, but I said, you know what? The easy way for me to do this is buy the Shinku and reskin it. So I contacted Repo Graphics. He hasn't contacted me. That's what I want to see if he could, because he's already done the Mortal Kombat 30th. I figured that he could do
the shape.
He could do the Killer Instinct for me. That's what I really want, and I want to just convert that into Killer Instinct. Now, can I ask you a question that I'm having with the Killer Instinct? And they couldn't help me really at customer service. Is that there's like a ground looping noise, and I bought something where I calmed it down. But it sounds like stock. There's like a little tick, a little noise when the cabinet's off. I was just wondering if you know anything about audio to get that. It's like I got a new PCB
so
and
you want him to be an artist, I
think this guy knows.
An audio guy as well.
You were talking about amps earlier. Do you know about sound? Does yours do that?
So it's a funny thing. The reason I'm into fabrication is I worked with a lot of MDF and fiberglass and acrylic in college. I actually worked at a high-end car audio store. I used to do fiberglass enclosures in like high-end vehicles. So for the auto thing is you could look at getting something to reduce the noise, but it really comes down to, I had the same issue. They sent me a new encoder board, not a PCB. Yeah. It was an encoder board. Yeah. And that issue went away completely on my cabinet.
Oh, weird. Because I have it all amped up, so I kind of hear it's just a little bit.
But didn't they send you one too? Did you change it?
I changed it, but it actually was a little bit noisier than my original encoder board. So
I mean, they have inline noise reducers. You could look at getting one to see if it.
In fact, I got one of those, and it helped out so much.
Sure, but that's probably as far as you're going to get unless you fix the problem. So
yeah, it helped out like a lot, but I still hear it like barely, and it bothers me. So I have a switch. I turned off my cabinet like the old schools on top. I put a switch there for my power because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So
because you're running aftermarket speakers that plug in separately.
Yeah. Through an app. Yeah.
I'll send you a link to a product because I've been researching that for my builds. They have a power surge protector that takes a 5 or 12 volt input that triggers the relay inside to turn on the main power. So basically your PCB, you can take the wire from the marquee and put it into there, and it will turn the power on to turn on your speaker. So you could just so the PCB will actually control everything. You don't need to do a separate switch.
Awesome.
Don't get this man excited. Now he's about to jerk off right now.
UAG, I had a feeling the guy knew it. He knows it all.
I did.
You were all like, hey, this guy's just the artist. Nah, he's the know-it-all.
I didn't say that he was just an artist. I said, Dad, you want him to do everything. He's building the cabinet for you. He's doing the renders. He's doing it. And you're like, yo.
Talk to ReproK. Tell him, hey, guy, get me ahead of the line.
I'll message him after this.
It'd be like he'll do a video on it, so if you could send it to him,
wow,
he'll pay for it, like send it ahead of the line.
This guy, you think you're privileged?
Yeah, you just want a ton of privilege now, man. You're trying to use your star power.
I'm trying to use your star power.
I'm not a star. Nobody. Look, do you see my?
You're a star to us.
That don't even exist. My last video, I think I had like 400 views. Like nobody cares.
First of all,
I'm sending a link to your channel right now.
Let's bring up this video. Let's bring up this video, right? This guy, Anthony, please go ahead and follow this man
right now.
Show this man some love. Show him the respect that he deserves. If you like this stuff, I love it. And I'm sure you guys did as well. A lot of people, like, we need to show the proper, listen, you did excellent on this. And I can't, put it into words. The amount of love that you put into this, it's next level, to be quite honest with you, and I truly believe that.
Well, I'm not putting crap on YouTube, man. You come correct or you don't come at all. I mean, go big or go home.
And you definitely do. I mean, down to the thumbnails are gorgeous, and so
you want to laugh? Go. That shit takes me the longest, no joke.
They were making fun of me today because I was doing thumbnails. I was asking, is this one okay? Is that okay? He's like, oh, you're trying to impress Anthony? I said, yeah.
Anthony, I'm gonna show you the thumbnail he sent, and you would know that he's not an artist. He made the cabinets like this small in there. I go, dude, they look like
because I used the original. I used the original photo again. I'm like, it's and you know it's an up close,
like
and I had to bring it down because I didn't want it to cut to have like a cut in the middle of the thumbnail. So I brought it down to the bottom. They're making fun of me, and that's not cool, bro. That's not cool.
I put a lot of time because I don't want my thumbnails to look crappy. Like there's times I'm late at night working on them. I look at like all the other streamers, what their things look like. I look at Ralph's thumbnails, see what people are doing with color and text, and you know, just trying to make sure I get that thumbnail game up. Yeah, that
I need to learn thumbnails. Yeah, they're really hard. I keep them plain and simple.
Hey man, you're a star now, man. I'm just saying you're a star now, man. You might have.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what? It's not even about, huh?
I'm just saying. I mean, are you saying that you got no views, but it ain't all about that, man. Everybody, ask UAG. He ain't had none. You know, back then.
Yeah, it took me a while to get where I'm at now, and with all the help of everybody,
I didn't have anything, and then you know what I mean. Just people like, you know, if you got a good attitude and you know always wanting to help people in the community and stuff like that, people will follow you, man. Just saying.
Tell you what, if I still had the Killer Instinct unmodded, I'd make you a deck. Honestly, I know
look at this guy.
You would appreciate and love that deck. So I know if I did it, you'd be happy. But unfortunately, I can't because it's so modded. I don't have the base to make sure everything fits. I have no way to make sure that fits properly.
Oh, I totally get you. Nah, you're good, but bad. You're a bad dude. I love that. But yeah, dude, I don't know what it is about Killer Instinct. I love the game, but it wasn't a game like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat were the ones of my childhood. But that cabinet, I'm so obsessed with. Like, I want it. I just want it better. Like. I'll be happy in the 30th.
Hey, shut up. I'm showing this man stuff.
Hey.
He's not no one-trick pony.
Hey.
This man, he does the modifications. He show you how to do it to make people like OTG feel like he can actually use a tool. Look at this.
Yeah, I have tools. I mod my shit.
You know what I mean? You can. Give it a try, man. I mean, that's why I make the videos. I want people to get excited and want to try to do this stuff. Why not? Boom. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, that's no joke.
And it's flush and beveled. Like it's, you know, this guy, he doesn't do bevel shit. He just cuts them straight. Bum.
Hey, I don't know how to do all that.
Dude, $50. Go get a router at Home Depot. You're done. Rigid router, $50. Best thing you ever use for doing everything. I use a router like crazy. That thing's amazing. You know, I didn't pay I didn't even pay $50 for my router. I had a $20 off coupon. So like I ended up out the door after taxes, paid like $37.50 for my router.
Oh shit.
OTG, you can do it, man. I didn't even know how to use wood back in the day, man.
Yeah. Well, I've done like I made the whole like little J panels. I made the tops. I made the whole bottom. Like I've cut MDF like all the time. I made whole control panels of myself, but they're not like this. They're the regular flat ones. Like I just copied the shape of the Arcade1up, but I've never done anything custom like this, like your own design. It's really cool. But I don't have a router. I just have like a little circular saw, like a mini one. Like,
so buy one. Go to freaking Harbor Freight. Get a cheap one, you bum.
I'll say Home Depot with Ryobi, they offer those sets for like a couple $100, and they use all the same battery because the batteries are the most expensive thing, not the tool. So like I told you, I already had the battery from the drill. I paid $37 for my router, and that thing, I use that router like crazy. That's like the best 30-something bucks I ever spent. Like that's like, I mean, a router is a CNC. I mean, that is your CNC machine, except you're the robot at that point. So
you're the Bobby Vu, like he's a CNC machine.
I love that. I wish that guy would make more videos, man. I watch all his videos all the time, man. He gets me so excited to mod stuff, and
his excitement, right?
He's moving, so he's in the process of moving. So that stopped him from a lot of his modifications, but he'll be back.
Just passionate, and then obviously his tag, like, clean, and, clean like clean as the mother shit. I love it. Man. It just has me cracking up, man.
He's a shit, man.
So, Ant, I got a question for you. We're going to go a little bit not off topic, but not what we've been discussing lately. If you could have one cabinet, the one that you said, if I get this, I'm done. I don't need anything else. This is my dream. If they could give you the one, no limitations. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's from Nintendo, anyone. What would be that one cab?
I don't have just one, man. I just can't narrow it to one. I have nostalgia for like a small collection of them. You know what I mean? And like it's hard to say just that one.
All All right, so what would fit in your collection then? Your collection, like right now, like which ones would you
Smash
want?
would be nice. Like a Smash TV cabinet would really be nice. I think it's a really fun game, and if you put some other twin sticks on there, Total Carnage,
Robotron.
you know, the Robotron stuff people talk about, whatever.
Whatever.
You know, so I would say Smash would be one I really would like to have. And I can't say some of the other ones I really have because I might be giving away some of the videos I'm making.
Listen, I think you're gonna get your Smash sooner rather than later, because John D always mentions having a twin stick cabinet, and if he was to do it, he would do it with Smash TV artwork because
Robotron. He only keeps saying Robotron.
No, Robotron. He thinks it's the better game, but he thinks that the artwork and what would sell more would be definitely Smash TV.
I think Smash TV artwork is definitely an eye catcher, and it's definitely more marketable. I'm even my wife that, you know, she tolerates this. When I was working on that render, like, what do you think of this? She herself was like, wow, that is really a good looking cabinet. It is just really pretty. I'm like, yeah, that artwork is just, it was well done. It represents a period of time. And just the bezel alone, that red bezel with the lights and everything about it, it's just clean and sharp, and it's just some beautiful artwork, man. Right.
You mentioned a twin stick cap. If they were going to give you a gun one, other than Time Crisis that we believe is coming out, what would be the next gun game for you?
Oh man, that's hard. I mean, everybody says House of the Dead, and I get it, but like Carnival's just really unique.
Yeah.
You know, there's something unique about it. I mean, you know, House of the Dead, you shoot a bunch of zombies, and it's cool, and I have nostalgia for it, and hopefully we get it. But man, there's something just the fun, over the top Carnival stuff is just really, really interesting to me. I really enjoyed it. And dude, people are gonna blow me up probably for saying this. All right, here's another cabinet. I would love an American laser cabinet with Mad Dog McCree 1 and 2, Who Shot Johnny Rock, all those laser disc shoot 'em games. Like an America, because I think it was all done by America Laser or something. That was the name of the company. Dude, just give me Mad Dog McCree, Who Shot Johnny Rock, all those laser disc games on a cabinet. I think that would be a really interesting cabinet.
I'm a little lost with that one. I didn't play those, man. I missed out on those. So I kind of need to look those up.
Just ask Jago. Jago will tell you the lessons of that. Those were, you know, like acting games. Like, think it's those are games that were played on DVD in some cases. Like, they're really good. They're really good. Okay, and you said a gun game. You said a couple of them. What racing game would be? What driving cab would be your driving cab? We got to know if you are in the right lane or the left lane. Let us know. Let us know.
I dislike racing cabinets.
All right.
I don't know that.
Alexa, shut up, bitch.
I'm sorry. I have no nostalgia for a racing cabinet. Like I just not my thing. I never gravitated to those in the arcade ever.
Yeah. You know what? Console Fanboy was begging for a render.
I guess that's not happening. I guess that's not happening.
You know,
console. You're back in the line, Buzz. Back in the line. Okay. Let me see. So we said whatchamacallit, a twin stick. We said a gun game. You said you don't have no love for the driver's game. What, name a how about like specialized controls, whether it be afterburner with a flight stick, whether it's, you know, just something that might be odd. What do you think? Come on, and don't hit us with that knowledge.
You already said it. Smash is odd controls.
Yeah, you know what? I was in the arcade in a very limited 90s time. So for me, I really live in like The Simpsons, The Turtles, X-Men, Smash, Mortal Kombat. Like there's this really small pocket. Like I don't have a Pac-Man, and I'm probably never going to get one. I just don't have the.
You're not part of the Pac-Man club?
Sorry. Yeah.
Because OTG has about 5 Pac-Mans.
I don't have any.
Pac-Man. My father played Pac-Man in the arcade all the time. Like when we went to the arcade on Sundays, he would play Pac-Man. That was his game. He grew up doing that when he was a younger person. But yeah, there's just certain stuff I'm not into. A lot of some of these other things.
Anthony,
so
No. This is a real question. Stop, OTG. Stop. I gotta ask this one question. Let me just ask this one question.
I know how you feel, Mad Dad. I know how you feel, Mad Dad.
Important question.
Don't let us talk. All right, go, UNG.
Important question.
UNG show.
That's
Go.
why I sit here and chill.
No,
this
is an important question that the community needs to know.
The community needs to know.
Go.
New York City pizza or deep dish, shitty ass Chicago pizza?
I'm from the East Coast. I grew up in Connecticut. Of course, it's New York pizza.
That's fine. Who cares?
And you guys didn't understand this, and I looked it up. Maybe it was just more of a Connecticut thing. And you guys, I brought this up before. There's something called a white clam pizza. It's in Connecticut. It's off the charts. It's fresh white clams with garlic and olive oil. And it's very kind of, maybe it's just more of a Connecticut thing. I've had it in New York though, so I don't. Maybe you guys never heard of it.
I haven't, but since you brought it and you know what real pizza is,
I said it.
I will try it. I will try it because you told me who knows what real pizza tastes like. I will try it.
Well, I tried to tell my wife about how legit East Coast pizza is, and she's like, "It's just pizza." So we went to Connecticut to visit family. We went to a mom and pop legit pizza place. Been there forever. Brick oven pizza. She was just like, I don't believe this is pizza. I never had pizza like this before. And she was just like blown away because it's like she killed like almost a whole pie herself because she had never had East Coast, pizza before. So yeah, she got to experience that when we went to Connecticut for a trip and stuff. Yeah, there's nothing like it. I mean, here I'm in Cali, and I have some okay pizza.
So I want to tell you something. This man looks me dead in the face and tells me if they say it's New York style, then it might as well
I've
be.
been to New York pizza here.
He's telling me that he had New York pizza in Texas.
My New York friend, do I have to tell the story every time? Hardcore to pizza was like, this is New York pizza right here. I'm just going by what he said, and it's good. I don't hate it. I like New York pizza. I like Chicago. Just Chicago's better. But you know what? I wanted to ask you before UAG really interrupted me and did this into. It's just a quick question. It had to do with video games. We were talking about 90s. Right there with the 90s. You have no love for cruising? That's it. Just that.
I just didn't play much racers. I just never really got into racing. Really, I mean, I get people have love for racing cabinets, and Arcade1up should definitely do them for those people. It's just racing cabinets never really got me excited, man. I just really loved the Konami 4-player cabs is just so many good memories there.
I love all those too, man. Even
did you ever play? What are you putting down? Did you ever play G.I. Joe, man?
They do have New York water.
Yeah. Just to let pretty good. The shooter.
Yeah. The place I'm talking about, the dude gets his water from New York. He's that much of a hardcore New York guy. He says his pizza's New York. He brings in water from New York. So don't even start that, UAG. I told you that too. All right.
There's a lot. The water, the dough, the sauce, and also the oven. You can't. You're gonna cook a good pizza on a piece of metal.
No, this dude does a brick. It's legit. It's New York pizza. That's it. I'm gonna stop
they
there.
make it in like a barbecue pit in the back next to ribs.
We got some over here in Texas called
Yes,
Mod
we
Pizza.
Do.
We got something called Mod Pizza, man, and it's a brick.
There's a lot of brick.
That's a commercial chain. We're talking about real pizza. Real pizza you do not get at a franchise.
I make better pizza at home.
I
buy dough from Whole Foods, and I have a pizza stone I put on my grill, and I get the grill up to 600 degrees, and I make as close as I can to a real pizza.
You can make UAG fall in love. Look at this, man.
Do your job.
Oh, it ain't my job, but $5 super chat for Retro Ralph. I only get my New York pizza at the New York Hotel in Vegas. Thank you. We had New York pizza at the New York Hotel in Vegas. Kongs R Us was there. Witness UAG ate it, and on purpose he was acting like
I ate it, and I almost discarded it.
Stop.
Look,
he still has a taste of it. That's all.
When you lift a piece of pizza, you should be able to flick the bottom, and it sounds hard and crisp, and it's not like
you hear it.
It shouldn't look like a tan, lightly colored, floppy.
I love this man. I knew I liked you, but I like you even more.
A pizza supposed to have like a yellowish color. It's supposed to be on the bottom.
He's talking about
the pepperoni.
He's talking about cornbread.
It's supposed to be like about that thick. Yeah, it's
supposed to be dark brown, crisp, and pieces of cornmeal.
Sauce on top. I like New York pizza also. But the thing UAG does, he hasn't tried Chicago pizza.
Sir, here you go. There's another one for you, sir.
All right, $5 super chat for Console Fanboy. Serious question: how much for Anthony Vitale to make a render of a stand-up cruise in USA? I need it for a petition I'm doing. How much?
When Console Fanboy takes on this video where he says I should get rid of my cabinet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Take that. You know what? So hard.
When Console Fanboy's like, who is this guy? He should just get rid of your cabinet. Get out of here. And I'm just like.
I was a fan, right? You were a fan to that moment.
I unsubscribed.
Yes,
I don't like videos anymore.
I would too, 100%.
Listen, if he doesn't take down your video, that video, I'm unsubscribing too.
Me too. I'm unsubscribe. Yeah,
that's it. The people have spoken, Zohar. Console Fanboy, whoever you want to be called.
We're the mob, and we're gonna cancel you, at least in this little circle. And
I'll tell you what, I'm not getting rid of my cab. I may not be the best player, but I'm not getting rid of it. And someday I'll spam leg grabs all day.
Yeah, he does spam. He plays cheat.
AKA Sir Sweeps a lot.
Dude, we banned him off our laundromats. We had to ban the whole Mortal Kombat 1 because he cheesed it too bad with Sonya.
Look, if Console Fanboy was a dinosaur, he'd be the Sweeposaurus Rex.
That's all he does is sweep. He's down like a turtle, like this.
Talk about this because my feelings are hurt. He knows he's winning over and over, and I'm still trying. He'll stand there and let me try to get his health bar about almost done, and then he'll try to destroy you.
That's the type of person he is.
I just can't deal with the emotional stress anymore.
You know what he likes to do? So we'll do like a first to 5, right? And he will sandbag most of the matches just so he can get more time to play. So he's an evil individual, to be quite honest with you.
Look, I won 2 rounds in MK2. I'll take it to my grave. I'm good. I don't need to go anywhere else. That's it. It happened.
That's why I like this cabinet of what they did on the Mortal Kombat. I'm glad they didn't go with the lobby system because that's a block feature. And the way like Console Fanboy couldn't block that person chasing him, I blocked my own friend Console Fanboy on Mortal Kombat because of his Sonya. I don't need to play as Sonya. I'll block him. I love it. So yeah, he plays so cheap, but nah, I don't have Console Fanboy block. I just avoid him. But anyways, yeah, it's just in fact, when he says no one's online, I say because everyone blocked you. Like you don't pick different players. Like your Sonya's cheap. Yeah, Sonya is one of the most broken characters on that game, and he's mastered to be annoying. And I understand that's how Mortal Kombat 1's played, but like when he plays other characters, it's fun. He's good too. He's really good with it, like most of the roster, if not all of it. But that Sonya, it's another level of cheapness.
Yeah, it's lethal with the legs. It's out of control.
So we'll ask one more question before we leave, right? Oh, I think we have a fan here. We have a fan.
My wife just got home. She's downstairs watching. By the way, my son is super excited as well that that I'm actually on the stream because he always sees me watching this because that's my routine. At the end of the day, I go downstairs, I watch your stuff, everybody's stuff on my big TV just to see what's popping off in retro gaming because my wife likes to hear if there's drama and stuff. And
you're watching the right channel because we bring up the drama.
Yeah. So he was super excited to know that he's my #1 fan about my channel and he's excited to see me on here and everything. So
how old is your son?
My son is 9. Yeah.
Okay. So I still got some good years. I'm afraid of that time where I'm not my son's superhero anymore.
No, still. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm very cool right now still.
Okay, because Retro Ralph tells me about his son, and I'm like, damn, I'm afraid that when they get to that age, because my son is 5 right now, and I'm like, I can't do no wrong. I could lift the car to him. So I'm just trying to gauge that time frame of when I'm going to be kicked out.
Oh yeah, and then you're a big asshole, so it's probably like less. But
I think you got some time in the
That's 6.
Your kid's older, right?
6, it's over with, man.
Well, I mean, he got like 5 kids, so.
Hey, UAG.
Who?
I mean, your kids are older, right, Mad Dads?
He's like 85.
Hey, whatever, man. I still look good. No, for real. No, man, I got 18, 19, 18, about to be 15, and then 7. I mean 8. Sorry, my bad.
So are you still cool or not?
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, they always be like, "Hey, what's up, Dad?" Every time, man. That's the best part of having a kid. I'm telling y'all, that's the best part of having kids, man. When you come in and they be like, "Dad," and they run up to you and stuff. Well, I mean, not the older ones, because they like hell to the no. They don't care no more. But
I got a question to ask the
younger ones, man, they'll run up to you, man.
With the younger ones, UAG told me his story. And why don't you tell your story? Tell it from the beginning about when you bought him the baby cage. Tell the story. It makes me
so my kids, they want to be like dad. So they'll go to the arcade cabinet and they're playing it, and like they were having a blast. And the thing is, like, first of all, I'm so surprised that they actually have the real ROM on these baby cages. And so I'm over there playing it. I'm like, move out the way. He's like, and my kid moved me out the way. And they're fighting each other now. Like, nah, this is mine. And they'll be in the back, like, fixing it. Like, they see, me fixing my cabinets to try to get HDMI out. So they're in the back there pretending like they're doing what I'm doing. It's hilarious. But also, my kid, I think he disintegrated. I don't know how. This is impossible. But he disintegrated. The cabinet no longer works. It's only been about like 2 weeks, and it disintegrated. And so then I sent a thing to Arcade1up tech support, like, listen, the plug doesn't fit in there, and I changed the power supplies and it fits, but it doesn't work. So they'd be like, I don't know if they actually read the things, because they just sent me a plug. I'm like, didn't you hear that I said I changed the power supply? So that's not the issue, but they sent it to me anyway. So, and that's my story.
It doesn't matter. You send a video. You can send a video to them saying, "Look, this is what's going on." They're still like, "Oh, can you do that again for me?" That's what they'll do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but hopefully you get that fixed, man, because I don't know how your kids messed that up. They're probably jamming in the back like that.
I don't know what they were doing, but they devoured that. I'm like, dude, it's not even a month.
They just
It's a secret, man. It's a secret. They just they went back there on purpose. Like, I ain't playing this no more. Just be like,
my Nintendo Switch no longer has the rubber on the sticks anymore. Yeah, it's gone. The rubber just disappeared. There's just no rubber on the sticks anymore on the Switch.
I remember being young, and I never did do that with my stuff though. Like the Nintendo, I got it when I was young. I was a kid, and I remember I took care of that. I would keep the games in the sleeve and all that. I was like, but I guess some kids are rough, man. UAG's kids were over there trying to jam that power thing. How do you mess that up?
So we have a question. I think it's a troll, but it says it's a question. Anthony, are you into the arcade? If not, why not?
Dude, I thought you want to turn this into a drama channel now, right? This is all right. So I'm gonna be I'm honest about it. If you like our art, look, I support everybody. You like what you like, okay? For me, it's really about having multiple cabinets, nostalgia, and looking like the machines I remember, and I have a lot of nostalgia for that. I just visually can't get over what the old one looked like. The new one is improved, but still not a nostalgic arcade unit. And I don't want to get on the subject because honestly, I watch one more video on YouTube about it, I'll lose my mind. The games, right? I'll use my phone. I don't like. There's nothing on there to really. I don't know. Like I'll put it on another platform, and it doesn't aesthetically. I'll say it in a nice way. It doesn't aesthetically appeal to me.
Yeah, you're an artist. These are art pieces, like what you have.
They are art pieces, exactly. Like,
but you know what's the common denominator? What he said is that it doesn't have a nostalgia. It doesn't pull you in. The nostalgia is a big thing.
It may be a great unit, great chipset, great monitor, cool. That's not what it's all about for me. I'll go play my PlayStation 5.
No, I have 100% feel with you.
right? It's that. It's what's behind you guys. It's that look of that. I keep them on while I work. There's just something about it just really brings me to a happy time and good memories. And I have a bunch of Konamis and they're 4 players and they take up a lot of room. And people are like, oh, the space. Those mean a lot to me. Like some people put other people down. Like there's this guy in the Facebook group. He bought 2 Dragon's Lairs and skinned 1 like Space Ace and put it next to each other. I get that, dude. Like I get where that person's coming from. That means a lot to that person.
Yeah.
And people in there are like, oh, you got a lot of money to spend. You must have money to blow. Like just kind of being negative. And I'm like, if that makes that person happy and brings them back to a particular time, having a Space Ace and a Dragon's Lair next to each other.
Yeah.
I get it, man. Like, absolutely. Like for me, having Simpsons, Turtles, and X-Men next to each other, that just is something for me. That means something for me.
I have to first to say that was beautifully said. Like your happiness is yours. Don't let someone else take your happiness away. Like there's a gentleman, a friend of mine who is a co-host of ours, Sosa, Lord Sosa, and he has Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
That's
like
beautiful.
They have the same lineup, but he loves that and he loves the way it looks and he remembers those games. And therefore, like, we'll joke and stuff like that, but I understand the reasoning behind it, right? Like if that that brings you back to a place in time of history that you just can't, you relive that every time you probably look at that cabinet.
And absolutely. I think that's what it is with my Killer Instinct. That cabinet sticks out the most because the sound, it brought a different sound in the arcade. It was like that combo system, like we had never seen it before. Everyone was talking about it. And I think that's the reason why I want that cabinet to look similar to what it looked like, even though, as the arcade went up and I'm trying, that's the only thing I can convince myself because I'm crazy about it. And UAG's all like, that's a shit game. Why are you doing that? I go, dude, I don't know what it is. I'm not good at the game. I don't play it that much, but there's some love for it. And that's the only reason I went all crazy with the sound and shit. But I love it. I love that.
Remember, he can't play it.
You need a soundtrack.
Yeah,
he can't play the game. That's why he ain't over there. Don't worry about it, OTG. It's all right.
Oh, I beat UAG's ass. I know he can't play the game.
That's why I have those 3 behind me, which is the Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Killer. I mean, those are my games. And in the Tilt back in the day, I used to just go in there and play those games all the time.
Tilt was awesome. That's where. Are you talking about the arcade place Tilt?
Yeah, it was in the mall, and
I was one in the mall.
Everything was, and you would just go in the mall. And they'll just have, it was everywhere, man. It threw me down when you see it going, when everything went to, I guess you could say, emulation and all that stuff. You see it all going downhill, just like Blockbuster and all them other ones. It was just fun going there, picking out a game and, just normal stuff. Like, you can't do that no more,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's part of the whole thing of this stream, right, is for me, the biggest thing you told me, we talked about Killer Instinct and anything I do in any of my videos, there is a big focus on the shape of the cabinet and the artwork and how as close as possible we can get it because it's just trying to preserve that time in history and make it as close as possible. So that's everything I try to do, in my videos is try to make them as close to the original as possible, especially the artwork as well, because that to me is what sells. And I think that's what has made Arcade1up successful. So.
Can we read that real quick, OTG?
UAG, I remember OTG doing 1,000 overheads with TJ Combo beating you in KI1.
I think you misread that, but okay. We also have a super chat.
All right, dude, is it really my job now? $5 super chat for Console Fanboy Anthony. I respect your honesty about the iArcade. I will make sure you have 1,000 subs by tonight. He already said it's not about subs, man. Or did he say that? I don't know. I feel like Anthony's a real humble person.
Look, for me, if you don't want to sub to my channel, don't sub to my channel. But if you like the cabinets and you like that artwork and the direction and the authenticity, thumbs up, make comments, make them known to Arcade1up, because if it can affect change and get us better products and give feedback to improve their process, their pipeline, and their product, don't sub me. But at least if they look and like, wow, this has thousands of views, there's tons of comments saying, I want this cabinet, I want this cabinet, I want this cabinet, yes, yes, yes. That to me is more important than a sub, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
I've always been annoyed when people kind of like throw people out there like, get them this 3 subs, that subs. Like, let it naturally happen because that's where the real people are. But I love what you're saying. Go to his channel, support this guy, what he's doing. Art takes time. His renders take time. It's talent. It's not something that anyone can do, but you expressing what you see and feel and putting it where we can see it visually through video and through that art form, it's amazing. And the little ideas you have that could cost Arcade1up maybe a little bit, like the screw hose, the CNC, redo the things. How far that will go in making something look more premium just for something so small, not adding anything extra. I love all your ideas. Go support this guy. When I saw him, I fell in love with him right away. His content, like when a video comes up, I get excited and I watch it. I mean, I'm not the best at comedy, and I never comment on videos. Sometimes, rarely, but this stuff, you guys should comment, like. That's what gets people out there. It's amazing what you do, dude, and I appreciate you doing this for the community. There's so many people that have passion, like you, that are talented, like the guys there at Mystery Encoder, like everyone. There's like, this community is full of talented people who put so much passion into this old school stuff. It's amazing what you guys do, man. Like, I appreciate people like you and like Mystery Encoder, all them, their team. Man, you guys are amazing. You guys are making the dream live on. Like I don't know, it's crazy.
That's what it's all
I
about.
appreciate it. It's great to hear that feedback.
So Anthony, can you tell everybody what's your next project and where they can find you at?
Well, you know, I'm on Twitter and you know, my YouTube channel is, you know, Anthony Vitale. And as far as my next stuff, there's going to be some 3D renders, but the purpose of the 3D renders isn't just to make YouTube content. I'm building cabinets, and I'm currently probably next weekend picking up the MDF, and I've been sourcing parts. That's why I was able to answer your question about the power supply and some other things I'm doing, because I've been sourcing parts. I mean, if I open up that closet, I got a bunch of 20-inch Dells. You know, I got a lot of stuff I've been stockpiling, getting ready to work on some mods. So there's going to be some, I'll say this, some XL Pro-sized cabinets being built.
Oh,
So I don't
I'm
do
excited.
these in 3D.
Nice.
I just don't do these in 3D just to do renders and make a YouTube channel. That's actually why I don't have these renders. I have these renders because I'm building cabinets, and that I'm designing them in 3D, make sure everything fits together properly, and then I'm going to go into the process. So I'm very close to building some cabs. So you'll see some 3D along with actual videos of you know, cabinet construction and more cabinets. I'll say that. That's
My
what
mind is blown right now.
I mean, if you like what you heard and you want to see that next project, definitely go over to Anthony's page. The link to his channel will be in the description after this show. You can watch the restream. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us. It was an honor and a privilege to have you on here. You do so much for the community, and it was a pleasure. Really a pleasure.
I really appreciate you guys having me on and offering. That day you extended an invitation was just like wow, you know, I really appreciate that. And yeah, I've been a fan for a while, watching your streams, and yeah, the opportunity to come on and talk about, you know, the community and what we've been doing, and it's great, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm the fanboy. I'm sure these guys too.
I'm a fan of you. Your excitement gets me excited.
What the heck? That's awesome, man. Appreciate that.
Mad Dash, wake up. Anything you got to say before we put you to bed?
I don't know. I'm about to go to sleep, though. I'll tell you that. But hey, man, for real, it's good to have another person that's out there that wants to help the community, man. That's why I started my channel, is just to help people and do stuff like that, and just to have another person to go out there and not worry about the subs and just, you know, wanting to change what's going on and for the community. It's just, I appreciate you, man. I'm just saying, it's good to have another person out there like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. And yeah, it's been great. Just even people reaching out to me offering, you need artwork, and I was just like, wow, man, that, because it's been difficult getting some of the artwork at the quality that I need for the render.
It's speaking of that, ReproCade, talk to him, be like, hey,
This guy.
Yeah, I got a friend. Maybe you could help him
I got
out.
a
He's not
friend.
paid.
Look, I will say this. I saw the KI artwork and the differences from what I have and Arcade1up has and the version he has. Stuff's on point. He's got the legit scan where the sword is not blown out white. It's on point.
One thing, Killer Arcade Games, super fan of that game. he noticed that they actually scanned it and kept the screw hole where it's the monitor.
The shield, where the shield
I was
is.
like, oh man, they kept that screw hole. That's bad.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, the screw hole. It's a metal bolt.
Yeah, it's on the artwork.
Yeah, it's a carriage bolt. It's a rounded silver bolt. There's no head on it. It's just a rounded carriage bolt. Yeah.
Yeah, they left it in the artwork. I was like, eee.
I don't understand what's going on with the art process at Arcade1up. The approval process, the review processes. I don't know. It's interesting.
Hashtag get this man a job. With that being said, and again, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining the stream, showing your support. If you like what you've seen, give a thumbs up on the way out, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.